girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Buenos dias, mi amigos, Chef, Ponzi, Margin, Jacob, Dino, Paul, Larry. What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back. TSM, they released some revenue numbers this morning, I believe. Yep. They pre-released some revenue numbers. Very nice. 182 level on TSM, man. We were talking about it all day yesterday. Beautiful. Beautiful. Welcome back. Welcome back. Morning Stone, Bruce. Buenos dias, Papi. Welcome back. Any plays on McDonald's earnings? No. Simple as that. Sorry, hamster. Hello from Hong Kong. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back. Press the like button as you join in. Good morning from North Carolina. I love North Carolina. Lake Norman. What a spot. I went there for 4th of July. That was a wild 4th of July. Lake Norman gets a little rowdy. That lake becomes like 6-foot chop, 6-foot wakes. What do they call it? Swells. There was a rally, like a boat rally, and my friend's boat almost sank. That was an experience. Some big boats in that lake. Morning, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, yesterday, some clear weakness at our NASDAQ supply level, our 750 level. You used to have a condo in Lake Norman? Yeah, it's a good time. So some very nice rejections at our very clear 750 NASDAQ 20,750 level. We saw a little bit of downside come in intraday, and we pulled back to some strong demands, and here we are again. Pullback longs again. Yeah, you've been there too, trader. It is dangerous, man. My friend has like a 23 foot, or it might even been smaller, maybe 22 foot like flats boat, and we're like, we trailered it from here to North Carolina. We trailered my jet ski and trailered his boat, and that was an experience in itself. Terrible idea, but it was fun to have him on the lake. But little did we know there was a Trump rally that day on the lake, and there were some 40-footers, just flying through the lake. The waves were insane. I mean, his entire boat was full of water. It was a sketchy time. But anyways, stop reminiscing on that. So yesterday on the NASDAQ, we saw a little bit of that downside come in, back into some key demands. And nice holds again, right? Again, nice holds. Nice hold on Nvidia, 129. AMD held some key levels. Some nice holds on Tesla. Tesla had a very nice day again, breaking through that 254. So again, just pull back longs, guys. It continues to be the trade, and you just can't be scared of the intraday downside. You have to really be objective with where the downside's coming down to. You have to understand what levels are below that we're trading lower into. Where's the next opportunity for me to long this pullback? Where's the next key demand? And that continues to work in this market. I know intraday, you see some of that downside come in, like on Nvidia, maybe a little bit of panic ensuing because of some downside, but Nvidia never broke anything, right? Some of these stocks that pulled back yesterday never broke any kind of major levels. We'll look at Nvidia, but you can see it right here, right? Just Nvidia, I'm staring at it in front of my face. We had previous highs at 129. That's exactly where we pulled back to. That's exactly where we held, right? So got to understand where these are pulling back to, man. You got to be able to look at this both ways, of course, on the intraday, but when you're pulling back aggressively, you can't just be, so scared about where that's coming down, especially if you're trying to hold on to some trades. I'm still holding Nvidia, did not touch that trade yesterday, and I'm very happy with that decision because there were definitely moments yesterday where I was like, it's getting a little bit weird, getting a little bit interesting, right? A little bit of downside coming in, but you guys can see, right? You got to do that, and if you're part of the group, right? We were assessing this all day yesterday, right? Just assessing Nvidia, sending updates to the group. Where are the levels? What are the spots that I'm looking for? Reassessment on Nvidia. Just sort of making sure I'm thinking about what's going on in the big picture, not just on the 2-minute time frame. So very important there yesterday. We'll go through it again today. Zoe, thanks for supporting the live stream. And Bruce with the $44 donation. Your help and guidance is priceless. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate that, man. Hopefully, I've seen some of your success in the group, Stone. I'll call you Stone because I know that's your username. Congratulations to you as well, man. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, let's get started. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 1,000 likes here early on, huh? Here we go. So today, another day of Federal Reserve Chair Powell. Let's just call him Jerome Powell. Testimony. So he did it yesterday. There was a little bit of volatility there. Not too much. But we did see a little bit of volatility at that 10 o'clock time frame. And let's just expect it again. I don't really think he'll say anything today that's going to change what he said yesterday, right? That'd be a little interesting. So I don't think it'll be as volatile as a move today or as important of a move today as it was yesterday. I'm sure he got most of the things he wanted to say out of the way yesterday, but we'll see, right? We'll see what he says today. We'll see how the market reacts. 10 o'clock, just be aware of it. 1 o'clock today, 10-year bond auction. That's actually a pretty big bond auction, guys. 10 years, definitely something that's in a lot of focus, right? The 10-year auction, definitely something in focus for this market. So be a little bit cautious there around 1 o'clock. If you are holding some swing trades, Let's make sure we're watching that 1 o'clock time frame. And then tomorrow is the big day. CPI tomorrow, unemployment claims tomorrow, 8:30 in the pre-market. So, guys, if you are swing trading anything into tomorrow, I would make sure you're aware of CPI in the pre-market. If you're holding options overnight, there is nothing that you can do after close today, right? From 4 o'clock today to 8:30 to 9:30 tomorrow, you are locked in. So make sure you know that, right? Make sure you have positions that you're comfortable with. CPI can obviously do anything on this market. We do not know. So just know that. 30-year bond auction tomorrow as well. That's another big bond. And then Friday, PPI to close the week. Consumer sentiment as well. All right? That's that. Earnings are approaching. We know that. We have some bank earnings on Friday. And then we are going to be seeing a lot more earnings next week. And we'll go over that when it's more important here. So let's go ahead and dive into the NASDAQ futures. Wow, NASDAQ is pushing over 750 right now. Interesting. Okay, so let's go into what the NASDAQ did yesterday, and let's review the move. So yesterday, let's go to the 15-minute chart. I like that 15-minute chart. And yesterday, pretty much all we did was we came into the day. We knew there was that 750 rejection spot. We knew that was very possible. That was that high from the Monday overnight session, and that was really where you saw just a lot of failures come in around that 750. I might actually, just for my own sake today, for my own safety today, move this up to 7. I'm going to move it up to the exact highs. I'm just going to put this as an entire zone, really. Just so I do not do anything stupid before that high from yesterday gets broken, right? So I don't want to long into yesterday's highs, right at this supply level. So I'm going to go ahead and make that a full zone there today, right? My zone today is going to be about a 20-point zone between 750 and 770, right? I want to make sure I'm aware that this entire zone can be a rejection spot. So I'm going to go ahead and make that a nice 20-point zone and just be cautious of it, right? Because we saw that wick high come in yesterday around 770. Let's make sure we're aware of that before we take longs today. If we can hold above yesterday's highs today, then yeah, I think we're going higher. So definitely going to have that 20-point zone on my charts today between 750, 770. Definitely some potential rejections. For now, in the very short term, we can see, look at what's happening right at 750 right now. A very strong hold going on as we speak. But where did we pull back to yesterday, right? What happened yesterday that caused this downside? We broke under the 700, right? We broke under the 700, which caused some downside into the Friday or the Monday highs. This was 670. We broke under the 670, and we moved down to Monday's lows, right? So yesterday, we pretty much just rejected the supply highs and retraced down into the Monday lows. The Monday lows were 610, right? And so as long as we were above that Monday low, this market still had that demand there, and that is a very nice hold that we can see is coming in off that Monday low. Like I've been talking about, as long as we are above this 575 level, which is right here, I truly believe that the market will maintain in a bullish market structure, okay? Let's go ahead and put this to just a blank chart, right? And look at this on a blank chart. This is your shelf level, right? That's the shelf right there. Very clear. This must hold. A break under this causes us to drop down into the straight up move, right? A break under this probably causes us to trade back down into around this 425. So this is really the level that, as long as we are above, I believe the buying will continue to come in near this level at 575, right? This entire zone down here, I think, continues to be that buy zone. As long as the market's maintaining above that shelf, then I think you continue higher. This break is what breaks the short-term structure, makes us break under this straight-up move, which we probably can see straight down. But we can see, once again, that level maintained and the structure is still intact, and yesterday's pullback held at the previous day lows, which was very clean, and we continue to see this upside come in. So you can see right here, 15-minute chart, once again, Monday's lows right there. Look at that hold. Very nice. Today, we are back above the 20,700. You can see that's holding in the pre-market. We got back above the 20,670. So we're right back above those demands, right? Very nice. So 610, 670, 700. Those are your pullback levels today still. 700, 670, 610, right? Still looking, if we do get another downside move today, look to see if those can result in a pullback long. I'd continue to look for that. Again, the same exact opportunity like we saw yesterday. Today, looks like we're pretty damn strong into the market open. If we hold above 770, my assumption is we are going to be moving higher. So just be aware of this 20-point zone above as we open the market. If we do fail it, I would look for that 20,700 level as your first spot to look for that pullback long today. QQQ, very strong hold of Monday's lows as well. You can see right here, Monday's lows. You can see we held it, 496. That's a very strong hold. That is your hold all day from Monday. We pulled back into it off that 500 supply level. And look at the hold that came in at the 496. We got back above the 497.50. We can see right here, 497.50, 496. These were the two levels we had on the Qs yesterday. We pulled back into the 496. We reclaimed the 497.50. And now we are back up into the 500. 500 is definitely going to be that spot. You want to see the market hold. If it does hold above it, I would look for that long. 498.50. I want to make sure I have that on my charts as well. 498.50 was this pre-market low from yesterday. And once we failed it, right, we saw a very clean, structured downside. This was actually a very nice downside move on the intraday if you are interested in that sort of short-term scalping downside. You can see after we failed below that pre-market low, we turned it into a rejection midday, which caused some nice downside action, right? So we failed that pre-market low. We did not hold it. We failed to get back above after rejecting, right? We had a break and retest rejection. Very nice, right? Very nice intraday scalps to the downside, and some nice trending lower moves, right? A nice trend pretty much the entire day into that demand low at that 496 level. So very clean there yesterday. A little bit of a little bit of downside after breaking under that 498.50. But we can see today we are reclaiming it once again. 498.50 reclaim, back above Monday's highs. We held Monday's lows, right? And so we have those very clear demands below 498.50, 497.50, and 496. Some clear levels below to be watching. And it looks like today it's going to be all about that 500 psych level. Do we break and hold above 500 for more upside? Do we reject 500 once again for another move lower into that 498.50, maybe into that 497.50? So we got to be careful today, longing into 500. There's no doubt about that. And then the shelf level, I just want to go ahead and point this out, guys. This is the shelf level that has to hold, in the sort of longer, if we look and sort of zoom out on this, I believe it's right around this 495, okay? As long as you're over 495, this structure maintains bullish, right? As long as you're over this 495, this structure maintains bullish. If we break under 495, that is the flip, right? Right here. It's sort of the middle of the seesaw. You heard me talk about this a lot. I believe under 495 is where the structure flips, right? We break under that, you probably, make up, you give back this straight up move, right? You give up this straight up move, you probably move back down into this 492 area. But right now, the middle of the seesaw is here, and you are still on the upside of the seesaw, right? You have not broken below it, and I think as long as you are above 495, there really is no reason to be shorting this market unless you are really just scalping micro moves on the intraday. So 495 is really that level. That's the level that I think has to hold in the larger picture. Monday's lows, Monday's highs, 498.50 pre-market from yesterday, and 500. 500 is that sort of major supply level above. Market not going down ever, and you just sit. Trade it what it is. Trade it what it is. All right. You make money from trading what it is, right? That's all we can do. If it keeps going up, if it keeps holding these demands, we keep trading the upside. Once it starts to flip, we can go ahead and look for the opposite, but not until it starts to flip. And for me, as long as it's over 495, and as long as that NASDAQ is over that 20,575, There is really no reason to be fighting this market. Market can stay, Market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. There's no doubt about that. ES. So S&P 500 actually quite interesting yesterday. And what's interesting about the S&P 500 yesterday is it never broke anything, right? The ES stayed within this range all day, right? All day. Market is going to get whacked. Matt, man, you must not be taking advantage of the upside, man. That's what it is, right? Guys, I know people that are always concerned, always saying that the market's going to get whacked. I know they're not making any money to the upside. Enjoy it while you can, guys. I really don't get the mentality, right? Trade the goddamn upside. Make money, okay? Everything's overextended. Who cares? Make money. It's such a stupid way to think. Trade the longs. Trade the demand levels. Trade the levels. Once the market starts to break down, trade the downside. It's almost as if people think you can't react. You know, it's like, I think the market is strong here, and I will lose everything because I just simply can't react to the downside. Yes, you can, right? If we see it break down, then trade the downside, right? It's, I don't quite get it. I really don't. I really don't. So, anyways, 56.30 never broke yesterday, right? Never broke yesterday. 56.30 was that previous high from that Monday move. And yesterday, we saw that very strong maintain the entire day, right? 56.30, 56.30, 56.30, all day. We could not break under 56.30, right? So, if the ES broke under that 56.30, we definitely would have seen a little bit of downside action, right? We definitely would have seen some downside action. 56.30, 56.30, we saw those previous highs. And look at how this thing just won't drop below it, right? It just won't drop below it, right? So that was very key yesterday, right? That was very key yesterday. 56.30, it would not give up, and you had to stay long as that maintained that level. And you can see even in the pre-market here today, 56.30 fighting again and pushing up to the upside again. So it's not until we break key levels, guys, right? You can react to this on the intraday if you're actually trading off of key levels, not off of some kind of bias, right? If we were to break under 56.30 in the future here, then you look to trade the downside, right? Very easy, right? If we do see the market drop today, if we do see the 56.30 turn into rejections, then we say to ourselves on the intraday, hey, we just broke under yesterday's lows. This could be a reason that the market starts to get weak, right? And we can logically think about maybe taking a short position off this level. Very easy, right? We're just reacting off what the market is showing us. So the market never showed us the ability to break under that low yesterday, and that means we continue to look for the upside structure. So if we break under 56.30, then we look for downside, right? If we break under that 56.18, we look for downside. If we break under that 56.10, then we absolutely are looking for downside. But that is not happening, right? And we're trading what's actually happening. We're not trading our hopes and dreams, okay? So 56.30, that's going to be our demand level to watch. We're going to watch that 56.18. We're going to watch that 56.10, right? Today, right, we're holding above this 56.40 level, which was a very clear rejection from yesterday. So now we're going to look to see, can we stay above the 56.40 area, right? If we hold above yesterday's highs and you're shorting the market because the market's above yesterday's highs, there is literally no logic to that. So if we're above yesterday's highs on the ES futures today and we're holding above it today and you're shorting into that, that makes no sense, right? So if we break back under yesterday's highs and we start to see rejections show at that level, then sure, right? Totally get it. That's beautiful, right? That's what you would look for that downside action. So let's take a look at that today, right? Let's make sure we pay attention to that previous day high. It honestly might even be back at this, I think it's more at this 56.40 to be honest, right here. You can see this 56.40 triple top. from the pre-market. So if we break back under 56.40 today, right, then I know we're back under yesterday's highs. We're back under that pre-market triple top, and that can absolutely cause downside on this market, right? So reacting to what we're seeing intraday rather than walking into the day thinking that everything's manipulated, that this is bullshit, I can't believe it, and I'm going to go ahead and trade off those thoughts, and I'm just going to continue to lose money, right? Which one would you rather be? I think there's a clear answer there. So SPY, you can see right here, SPY 556.65. That is that previous high that we saw come in from the pre-market, that triple top right here, 556.65. Look at the hold that developed above it today, right? Look at that hold that just developed above it in the pre-market today, right here, 556.65, 556.65. Look at the development that just took place right above the pre-market triple top. And if we maintain above that level, we are going to move higher, okay? It's as simple as that. If we maintain above this 556.65 and we turn this into a new support, we are going to move higher. If we fail back below it, that is a reason to potentially look for downside on a rejection back under this triple top. And if we do see that, we are likely to trade back into the 555.55, which is the Monday highs, which held beautifully all day yesterday, all right? Trading the technical levels and using them to make your decisions, not your emotions. 556.65, if we're above that level today, you are looking long. If you go below it, that is a reason for concern. That is a reason to know that we could see weakness under it, which would trade back down to the next demand, which is at 555.55. If you break under yesterday's lows, that's even more of a reason to be concerned for downside. If we see this break under yesterday's lows and reject, then we're likely to trade back to the 554.50. All right, so you're just reacting to what you see intraday. All right. Russell, RTY, still holding relatively nicely. Can't quite get out of its own way, but still holding nicely, right? So this is going to be something to stay patient on. We're definitely still holding on the Russell. The 2035 level is definitely still that demand that continues to hold. It looks a little bit tough still, right? It has been hard to get a real push on it, but I would say if the market maintains strong, this Russell eventually is going to find its move. But for now, I would say just be a little bit cautious of the consolidation. On the IWM, it's 200. You can see that 200 level just really holding on, but we just can't quite get that breakout yet. It looks like 205 is that major high, so it looks like for now, you're in sort of that 200 to 205 zone. I would probably wait for this move before really taking anything. Dow Jones, Mike Jones, still having tough time at the 39.8, 40,000. No doubt about it. Okay? All right. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's go to Tesla. And I'm going to get a sip of water. And I'm also going to run an ad. All right. Tesla, it can't go higher. It can't go higher. No mommies. It's going higher. So Tesla, I wanted a pullback, right? I'll be fully transparent with you. I wanted a pullback, and Tesla said, I ain't pulling back, right? That's what it basically said yesterday. I wanted that pullback yesterday, and it basically went up all day. So another strong move on Tesla yesterday, going above the 254, and the intraday holds above 254 yesterday were gorgeous. So if we look at this, 254, 254, 254, 254, right? Multiple rejections. We knew 254 was that tough level. We knew that. Now, if we go into the 5-minute chart yesterday, actually, you know what? Let's go down to the 2-minute chart. If we go to the 2-minute chart yesterday on Tesla, and we look at the 254 level intraday yesterday, look at how well this level held on. 254, 254, 254. Every pullback did not fail under 254. Yesterday, that 254 level just beautifully turning into a new low, right? Previous rejection, previous rejection, previous rejection, previous rejection into a multi-day hold, right? Or multiple time hold intraday, multiple times, just maintaining right above that 254. And because of that, you get the upside continuation. The next level here was 259.44. That was the high right here. We held above that. We squeezed above it. Today, very clear what we're looking for. We would love a pullback. Again, I'd love a pullback. I'm going to continue to look for it. I would love a pullback to 259.44, which is right here. I would love a pullback to this high. See if it can turn into support. Right? That's number one. Can this be my new long right here? Or if we get a little bit of a deeper pullback, I would love this right here. 254. Can we get a pullback to this 254 level right here? Can we come back to 254? Can we drop down again? See this start to hold again? And can I find my next long off this level? So 254 and 259.50, 259.40. You can maybe even call it 260, right? It's probably a little bit at 260 as well. But this previous high right here and these previous highs right here are my pullback longs, right? Looking for that today. That would be fantastic. The reason that Tesla's getting stuck at 265 right now is very apparent. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we can very clearly see that the 265 is a major 4-hour high. We can also see this very clearly on the daily chart. If we go to the daily chart and we go back a few years, we can go ahead and zoom in on this, right? We can see very clearly here that 265 was a major previous high, and the next one is up at 280, right? So right here on the daily chart, we can see 265, very tough level. The next one, 280. So 265, 280 are your next two major daily highs. And so right now, you guys can see 265, right? Very nice rejections. So keep an eye on that. Incorrect. I'm long and getting whacked. I don't know how you're getting whacked when you're long. They're probably just bad entries, man. You just need to maybe learn a little bit more about where to find your entries. When that happens, markets turn south quick and you'll get crushed. That's not a catalyst for the market here. CPI will not be good tomorrow. We have a Nostradamus in the chat. Nostradamus in the chat, my friends. Nostradamus. Oh, well. Anyways, so 265. Very clear level. That's something to be watching. That is definitely going to be a tough level for Tesla to break above. And I would love to get a pullback off this level for some better long opportunities, right? Would love that. So 265, be careful of that level. Pullback longs would be great into 259. Pullback longs into 254 would be fantastic as well. Okay? Let's keep an eye on that. Nvidia, oh baby. Oh baby. Should I pull up the current positions? Yeah, why not? We'll do it. Do it for the group here. Let's go ahead and pull up the so current positions on the on my Interactive Brokers account here, guys. So Nvidia right here, we got the July 12th. We still holding them. July 12th, 128 calls. Those are up $10,000. We have the AMD 170s. Those are up $5,000 today. And I'm down a little bit on some other AMDs. Got some metas in there. So right now, sitting up about $15,000 on AMD and Nvidia. You can see this is right here. This is live. I can move this around. This is the current. These are the current positions in my account. So very nice. We're in Nvidia 128s at 329. Right now they're at 637. We're in the AMDs at 350. Right now they're at 858. And I have not sold anything. I continue to hold fully. And really, really nice. We made a video about Nvidia, about this structured long. We talked about the opportunities possibly back to new highs. And man, this has been working out beautifully. So yesterday we talked about the 125 hold, and we talked about the 129 level. So right here we can see the 125. We had a break, we had a rejection, and we had a retest of that 125. 125 on Monday held nicely. We had a push back to the upside. Tuesday in the pre-market, we got back above. We pushed up into that 133.70. Where did we pull back to yesterday? Right? Really, really clean pullback yesterday. Take a look at this 15-minute chart. You can see right here. Previous highs, previous highs. Look at the pullback and the hold at 129 yesterday. Absolutely perfect. So we can see, right? We have 129. We have 129, right? So we know that that is the previous highs, right? We know that's the previous highs. We know that the previous high here. We know that was a previous rejection point. We got some characters in the chat today, man. We got some characters in here today, huh? So 129, right? Very clear. And if we look at the pullback that came in yesterday, look at the exact spot that Nvidia held yesterday. So just a little learning lesson here, guys, right? Look at the pullback, right? See, very aggressive pullback, nice aggression, right? Emotional. A lot of people just running for the gates. But where you got to at least give it a second to see where's it going to hold, right? Let's not panic out. Let's go ahead and keep an eye on where this may just hold, right? Let's know where our levels are. Let's keep a very calm, let's make sure we're calm here. Let's not start panicking out of positions. Where is the next level that I need to see hold? And if that breaks, then I can go ahead and take this off, right? If it starts to break, where's my next level? Let me stay calm here on the intraday. Let me make sure that I'm watching the key level. Let me make sure I'm not just panicking out of a good position just because of some intraday pullback, right? And so if we were watching the 15-minute chart yesterday, or if we decided to get off our 2-minute chart for just a second, right, then we would know, hey, okay, we got that 129 here. I see that. That's nice and clear. Let me go ahead and give it a second. Let me go ahead and see if 129 does hold strong, right? And so if you did that yesterday, you saw that very nice wick off that 129, and we saw that very nice upside move, right? Very nice. So I hope this helps, right? We made a video about this on Monday. We talked about how to manage these swing trades, and I hope that you're seeing this live, right? Even yesterday included. Another fantastic example of how to maintain these trades as long as that structure maintains. And Nvidia is no shortage of a beautiful maintain yesterday above 129, and you can see the result of that today. So if we zoom out here on Nvidia on this 4-hour chart, we have a 133.88 high, which I am definitely watching today, okay? So if we go to this hourly chart and we zoom over, right, you can see we have this high right here, and the high of that candle is 133.79, okay? That's the high of this little rejection candle right here. And so we saw that exact level reject yesterday, right? Look at that. The exact level rejected yesterday. That was the exact high of yesterday, was 133.88. So what are we looking for today? If we want to stay confidently long Nvidia, we would love to see it hold above 133.88. If Nvidia holds above yesterday's highs, this is going higher, right? There's a nice little level here around it looks like it's around 132. Yeah, like right around this 132. You can see sort of this pre-market hold that's coming in. I'll probably watch that a little bit. Right around this 132. You can see right here, 132, 132, 132. Nice little triple bottom there in the pre-market here. So I'll keep an eye on that as well. But what I would really want to see to be extremely confident on Nvidia today is a hold above yesterday's highs. That would really gain me, a lot of confidence to continue to hold this position. If we do fail it again, it's probably time for me to start wrapping up this short-term swing trade, right? I don't want to hold these into Thursday. I don't want to hold these into CPI. I don't need to be over-leveraged in that regard. So I'll probably look to try to close some up today, just being a smart trader and not being, irrational into CPI. But overall, this has been a great long since 125. If we hold above that 133.80, right, then I would look for that upside continuation, okay? AMD, 4-hour break and retest, really looking strong here, right? 174.55. Take a look at this 4-hour high. Look at that right there. 4-hour high, really, really nice, guys, right? 174.55. You can see that's that major 4-hour high. And take a look at the exact level that AMD held yesterday, right? It really does not get prettier than this right here. So AMD yesterday had a nice slide to the downside. Where did it hold? 174.55. 174.55 was the exact low of day yesterday. Why was that the low of day? Because if we go out on this 4-hour chart, we can clearly see that that is the exact high on this 4-hour chart over the last few months. We turned that 4-hour rejection point into a support yesterday on the intraday. That is a very bullish hold on AMD yesterday. As long as AMD is above this 174.55, I am going to continue to look for upside on AMD. If we fail below this, it's very simple. You get out of your longs and you understand it is failing back below a 4-hour high. But for now, you can see that's a very strong hold, and as long as we're above that, I would be looking for continuation to the upside. Matt said CPI is bad, so I got to get out. Yep. TSM. Oh, baby. What a hold on TSM at 182, right? We talked about that 182. We talked about that 185. So yesterday we did fail below the 185, but take a look at the 182 right here. 182, we had that low come in on Friday of last week, and look at where TSM pulled back to today or yesterday, and another huge gap up on TSM. It looks like this 180. I sort of like this 180. It's like this 188.50 level. I think I'm going to watch this today, right around 188.50. You can see that there was some very clear highs from this yesterday on Tuesday, right, in the pre-market. Look at this, 188.50, 188.50, 188.50. Take a look at what TSM's doing at 188.50 right now as we speak. So if TSM holds over 188.50, then I'd expect this to push into the highs here at 191. Right, that would be what I'm looking for. Now, if TSM fails under 188.50, you might want to wait for the gap fill again, right? Because TSM has filled every gap, right? Let's make that very known. TSM has filled the gap ups, no doubt, right? We had a gap up here. We had a gap up between Monday, Tuesday. We definitely filled that gap. We had a gap up from Friday into Monday. We definitely filled that gap. So we have been filling the gaps on TSM. So there could be an there could be an opportunity of that downside under 188.50 to fill that gap and to potentially look for that long off 188.50. That could be very nice. If it does not and we hold above that 188.50, then I would go ahead and look for that continuation. I think TSM gaps up a lot because it is probably heavily traded on the Asian markets. It's obviously a Korean, right? No. Taiwan. Why am I'm such an idiot? Oh my god. It's on the Asian markets. So it probably is heavily traded on the Asian markets, and that I think is why you see the gap ups that you do. I'm pretty sure that's why. That's sort of why you see such major gaps on BABA, right? BABA has gaps because it's traded overnight, and you get those big gaps on BABA as well. So yeah, it's just one of those stocks that gaps a lot. Could take advantage of it, right? It's been a really nice opportunity. If you basically just longed the close every day this week, you have opened up to a beautiful gap up, right? So, KSM, yeah, Korean Semiconductors. Idiot. I'm an idiot. Sorry about that. 188.50, that's the level to watch. SMCI holding that 880. I would watch this pullback at 880 today. This is a big level. We've been talking about 880. So I'd say watch SMCI 880. Watch that 100 SMA. It looks like 930 is a little bit tough, though. So just be aware of that. But that is an interesting little pullback on TSM today. Back into that 880 demand, right? Very nice. Let's go to Qualcomm. I do want to show you Qualcomm because this is a very interesting flag that's forming here on Qualcomm. Look at what Qualcomm's been doing, right? It's been holding over this 205. It's sort of interesting here, right? 205, 205, 205. I'd be watching Qualcomm here. If Qualcomm can hold over 205, start to gain strength over 210, I would definitely look to see if this could be a long. This is a nice little structured upside, right? 200. 205, next level is 210, right? So this is structuring nicely. If we hold over that 205 and we continue to see strength on the semis, I would say 210's next. A hold above that could be very nice. ARM, Really, really nice looking arm play here setting up, guys. Keep an eye on this arm trade. This thing is perfectly holding over all-time highs. Perfectly. So this is previous all-time highs on ARM at 179, right? And look at the break and look at the retest of 179 yesterday. We held 179 on the intraday perfectly. You can see right here. Look at that 179 level yesterday. We held it on Monday. We held it on the pullback yesterday. ARM continues to maintain previous all-time highs. So what I would look for is the pullbacks to 179 and see if that presents a long, right? See if that presents a long. Does 179 continue to be a long spot for ARM that is at the exact previous all-time highs? If we continue to hold that level, ARM continues to move higher. If we break under 179, then we will move down, probably decently aggressive because ARM's a pretty aggressive stock. So if we do fail back under the all-time highs at 179, the previous all-time highs, then I would probably expect some downside. So make sure you watch it both ways. MU, sort of a weak stock lately. I've been sort of looking away from it. Yesterday it did another pop and fade. Not a fan of it. I probably would not trade MU if it's under 139. That's definitely a pretty major rejection point. You could continue to try to stay long off 130. I think there's a reason for that, right? 130 is definitely showing you the demand stepping up. Definitely that 50 SMA down below. So if you can get a good entry on MU down at 130, I like it. Now, what I don't like is that I don't like the people that look to chase this thing, okay? If you chased MU yesterday, you got smacked, okay? You will continue to get smacked on MU if you try to long it after a squeeze to the upside into supply. So if you're going to trade MU, you're going to have a strong confidence, and you're going to have to know your trade plan. You're going to need to be long near that 130. That's the only way you're getting good risk reward here, is to be long near 130, having a stop loss under it, and looking for the squeeze into supply and taking profits here. Now, the people that are going to lose money here are the ones that are longing it right into the rejection point, longing it here, and then seeing it fail back to 130, okay? You got to be understanding of what the stock's characteristics are right now, and right now it's just a trade between 130 and 139. So if you're going to trade MU, you could just ask Matt, or you could try to trade 130. Either way. All right. Let's go to Apple real quick. Apple has been on its freight train mode, no doubt about it. The freight train continues on Apple. I really don't like these intraday moves, though, on Apple. I will be fully honest with you. I mean, this is really not a great day for Apple. It's just sort of chopping sideways. So I don't love trading Apple. Like I continue to say, guys, you buy Apple shares, you own it, you don't trade it. That's the one thing I agree with Kramer about. But 228, if you get that pullback, that could be your long, right? 228's your spot. If you can maybe get something aggressive off 228, that could be nice. But besides that, guys, the intraday moves are just sort of and I'd probably just own the shares. But I'd say 228's your level to watch. Microsoft. Yeah, nice pullback on Microsoft yesterday. I think opportunity here. I would be watching this 457.50 right here. 457.50, 457.50, 457.50. That is the exact level that I would be watching. So let's look to see if 457.50 holds, right? That could be very nice. 457.50. Nice hold yesterday. You can see right here, Microsoft had a nice hold at these previous levels. Very clean there. I'd probably want to see it back over this. I'm going to move it up to 465 just to be safe. I'd probably want to see it over 465 to really feel confident. But you could look for a long here and trade it into the 465. That's got to be red because that is a new rejection spot. So yeah, be a little bit careful with the 465. That could be a new rejection spot, right? As you move higher, you could fail there. That's very possible, making a lower high and a lower low. Very possible. But I do like that 475.50 and maybe look to see if there's a long here, maybe for that channel trade back in the 465. That's a nice demand down below. Just be careful of these previous lows, 465. That could cause rejections. Meta. So this is very similar to Meta. And I am definitely continue to watch Meta today. I would love to see Meta maintain this 530 level. It needs to get over 534. There's no doubt about that. Let me go into the 15-minute chart. has had a very tough time getting over 534. That's very apparent, right? You can see right here, 534, and even in the pre-market today, 534. So a very tough level there on Meta, but I really like that it's continuing to hold this 530. This is previous all-time highs. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we can see right here, the previous all-time high on Meta was $530 per share. And so right now, you are holding and consolidating after that strong pullback right above previous all-time highs. If Meta can find some kind of strength above 534, I really believe that this could start to move again, right? But we need to get over 534. I need to see us do a nice maintain above this level. If it does, and I start to see the structuring higher, start to see that become a new low, then I would look to long that level for more upside. I'm already long Meta off of 530 zone, so I am looking to see if this can continue. We shall see. It's a pretty light position. I'm starting it out pretty light because I would, one, be interested in longing more and getting heavier over 534, or I would also be interested in getting heavier on this position if we pull back further to 522, right? This would also be another interesting long spot for me back at these previous highs right here. So 522 and 530 are definitely two spots that I'll be watching to see if Meta can result in some pullback longs. We'll go quickly to Google. Google has a pretty interesting, whatever you want to call this here, guys, wedge, descending triangle. I don't know what the boys call this one, but I don't really trade off these types of things, but you can see it right there. You have that sort of descending high and that flat bottom there at 190. I would continue to look to see what Google does off 190. Again, yesterday, a very strong hold of 190. So I'd watch that 190 for sure. It looks like this 190-220 level is a little bit heavy, right? No doubt about that. You can see that high that rejected both Friday and yesterday. So that's very clear. But that 190 level definitely looks like a strong level. And on the flip side, guys, if you break under 190 and you reject 190, that could absolutely cause downside, okay? Make sure you're thinking about this both ways. If you see this break under 190 and you start to fail below these lows, that could absolutely put pressure on Google, and it would probably give back, right, this entire upside move. So 190 is a must-hold for me on Google. I'm not going to go over Amazon, guys. This is something that you need to pay attention to on Amazon. There's a lot of insider selling on Amazon right now. Jeff Bezos is selling a lot of shares, and it's going to continue to pin the stock, right? The stock price action is terrible. You remember what happened on Nvidia when Jensen was selling? He might still be, but it's definitely changing a little bit. This is really choppy, shitty price action. Stay out of Amazon until this clears up. All right. I think that's about it. Let's go to the NASDAQ real quick. All right, so we can see, guys, we are in the rejection zone still, right? We are opening the day in the rejection zone. So please be aware of that. If we fail here, you will see some downside to start the day, okay? If we fail in this red zone, we have to be careful of early morning longs. Something's in my eye. We have to be careful of early morning longs if we are in this rejection zone. Please be aware of that. Please do not long early morning for here. This is exactly the level that rejected yesterday. It's the exact level. There is no excuses here. If we see the same rejections that came in yesterday morning, there is no reason to be long into supply. What you look for is the pullbacks, 20,700, 20,670, 20,610. These are the spots you want to be interested in longs. You are not longing right into yesterday's highs, okay? Very important. Pay attention to that. You're not longing right into 500 rejections that came in yesterday. Please be aware of that. Look for that pullback to 498.50, right? Look for those pullbacks. S&P 500, a little bit of rejection as well. Look to maybe see if we can pull back to that 56.40. And then on SPY, right? On SPY, let's see if we can pull back to that 556.65. But very clear that NASDAQ future opening the day in a rejection zone. Please be aware of that early morning. We need to clear this rejection zone before you can be confident in that upside move. All right? All right, guys. Make sure to stay objective. Make sure you stay on the right side of the market. Trade the levels. Do not trade a bias. Guys, I can't tell you how much better my trading got when I stopped, when I really understood, how to just read the market objectively between these levels instead of really coming into the day with some kind of an idea. And I'll be serious here for a second. I know I trash some people in the chat sometimes or get a little bit excited, but it's really out of just me trying to really change the mindset of people that watch me. We got to stop coming into the market and trying to think that we're some hot shot. We get the ego out of the goddamn trading. Get the ego out of your online presence. Pay attention to what's going on in the market. We're here to make money, okay? That's the end of the day. That's the goal, is to make money. And the way we're going to make money in the market is to pay attention to what the market's actually showing us. We're not going to fantasize and be in fairy tale land about what we think the market should do. What we think the market should do is complete bullshit. Pay attention to what's going on in the market and trade it, okay? It's very important. It's honestly one of the most important things that you need to somehow change your mindset to. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope that you can understand where I'm coming from. I hope you can understand that you need to change that mindset. If you continue to come here with some kind of bias, you're just going to continue to lose. It's as easy as that. So press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
Girls with their nails done now.